What's going on, guys? Fun with Knives back again. Got a cool little review for you today of the Byrd Hawkbill. This was actually my first Byrd knife. I bought the Byrd Cara 2 that I previously reviewed because I like this knife so much. And I think it's a very good cutting tool for what it's intended to do. So I'm going to give you guys the specs. We'll kind of get into the review here. We have a 2.875 inch blade with a 2-inch cutting surface. Your handle length is going to be just over 4 inches. And your overall length is around 6.8 inches. So a very small knife for sure, but it gives you a 4-finger grip regardless if you're going to use that forward finger choil or not. Your weight is only 2.6 ounces and your blade thickness is at 0.09 inches. So a very slim knife in a lot of directions other than this one, which we'll talk about. But guys, I bought this knife because I was cutting down a whole lot of cardboard at work, and some of my fine edge drop point-esque knives weren't really doing it for me. So I thought I'd try out this kind of Hawkbill Karambit shaped knife. And I'm really glad I did because, first of all, guys, this knife is an absolute stellar value and it's performed wonders for me. So this blade here is made out of 8CR13 MOV, obviously produced by Byrd. Spyderco is kind of affiliate for their budget stuff, their entry level knives. And I really do like a whole lot of knives Byrd puts out. I might be purchasing some more because I think you get a little bit more bang for your buck. And you can always tell a Byrd by the comet shaped hole rather than just the normal circle from Spyderco. So this blade shape is really meant to kind of dig into the material with that tip and then keep the material against the cutting edge. That's why it's curved this way instead of, vice versa. And with these serrations, it really cuts well. It saws through things like fibrous materials like I need it to, rope and cardboard, but an absolute terrible food prep knife. So this isn't an excellent EDC knife. I think this is a great secondary tool. If you need some small sawing things, I think this Byrd Hawkbill is going to really work for you because it has for me. I actually bought this knife because a follower on Instagram was kind of raving about it, and I was like, if he likes it that much, I'm probably going to too. And I do. So you have a hollow grind on this satin finished 8CR13 MOV blade. Pretty standard serrations on this one. And then this is Chinese produced, as all the Byrd line is, I believe. So your deployment is going to be that comet hole. Very easy to use one-handed. You can use it two-handed, kind of easy to do that as well. These knives with these backlocks are not easy to flick out with your thumb or your middle finger. So you'd have to get a whole lot of wrist action in there if you're going to do that, because this is a backlock and a very strong one at that. It's got no blade play whatsoever, and that's always nice to see on this price point, which is very low, which we'll talk about too. But I think you got that, I think it's bow dent in this, where it's basically a design where they cut out part of the backlock so it doesn't accidentally disengage when you're using it. And that's really cool because you'd hate for this knife, if you're really bearing down on it, to just accidentally disengage, kind of close on you, because especially a knife like this, you would really do some damage to your fingers. So I have no worry about this knife disengaging. That backlock is definitely strong enough for my uses. And then your handle material here is going to be FRN, that fiberglass reinforced nylon, and then it's got the bidirectional texturing. You guys might have remembered that from my Manix 2 lightweight review, the Native 5 lightweight. It's on a whole bunch of their models, the Delica, the Endura, and Byrd gives it to you in kind of a different configuration, but it still performs the same, where if you're going to go this way on the handle, it's going to push you back towards the center and vice versa. But it's smooth going the other way. Just a really simple design of a whole bunch of symmetrical shapes pointing towards the center of the knife so you don't end up on top of the cutting edge. And then they give you jimping on the back of the knife and on your huge thumb ramp from the comet hole. And this knife in your hand is actually extremely secure. You get a 4-finger grip, and then you do get the forward finger choil with some more jimping on there if you need some finer control. So guys, Byrd gives you a whole lot of Spyderco features: the forward finger choil, the hole for opening, the great jimping, the bidirectional texturing, the well-designed backlog. This is basically a Spyderco in a whole bunch of people's eyes, and I really recommend Byrd as a brand because they're entry-level Spydercos. If you're unsure if you want some of the things Spyderco's offering, just go pick up a Byrd. A lot of them are going to be floating in the $20 range, and if you hate it, you hate the design, Spyderco is probably not for you in most cases. So I like all the features on this knife. You got Byrd Hawkbill written there. Your pocket clip is 4-way repositionable, also another Spyderco thing that you see a lot. And then your lanyard holds through the clip if you want to carry it tip up. And it rides adequately deep, but just enough to grab onto any corner of the knife. You kind of have, it looks like pinned construction where you can't take it apart, but it is just the one side has the Torx bit screws. And another cool feature too, something worth noting, is that your pocket clip sits flush with the handle where it's smooth, where it says Byrd Hawkbill on the other side. So this texturing shouldn't tear up your pockets like, you know, grippy G10 would. So guys, this knife is an absolute awesome value at under 20 bucks. Blade HQ has them for $19 and some change. Amazon might have them a little bit cheaper than that. So guys, I urge you to grab one of these knives if it fulfills your need. Now, this knife isn't perfect. I don't love every feature about it. One of the things I do not like is that it is incredibly wide in the pocket. At this size and weight, it feels like it should be nothing in your pocket, but I mean, this thing's 2 inches thick in this direction. So it seems like if you carry this knife in a pocket, that's the only thing you're going to be carrying in that pocket. So it's a little bit cumbersome to carry that way, but it's kind of hard to get around that if you're going to have this karambit shaped knife. One other thing, you can see that the serrations, or the points of the serrations that is, barely lay inside the handle, so much so that I'm worried that as time goes on and those serrations get used and resharpened, I'm going to be touching the edge here. Just something to note, I guess. Might be a little bit superstitious of how this is going to wear. But you do have a standard pocket clip here, kind of the hourglass thing from Spyderco without the spider on it. So guys, stellar value, efficient cutting tool at certain tasks. Definitely not the end-all, be-all, you know, EDC pocket knife. But if you want something a little bit different and you're finding yourself using plain edges for things that need serrations, this might be your answer, your solution. And at 20 bucks, if you make a mistake, you guys don't like it, you can always, always sell it, throw it in a bag in your car as some sort of backup knife. So thanks for watching, guys. As always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.